everyone, and welcome to House Podcaster.
Well, I guess that's what we're going with.
That's just kind of us,
Yeah.
I think. I feel like at this point.
Well, the Game of Thrones is kind of where the whole thing started. So,
Yeah.
not your podcasting in general, but
Yeah,
our
they
show.
did the Lost podcast with Jay and Jack. That's our Jay and Jack is House Podcaster. That's us.
Okay.
Basically, is what it comes down to. It's a different group than the Joel Henderson show. It's the only differentiation, basically. We are here to review the second episode of Leftovers, which, I didn't bother to write the name down. Do you got that for me?
It was like Penguin 1, Us 0.
Okay.
Was the episode title.
Talking about the therapy penguin.
Right.
Okay. Well,
and
with me, as always, Jeremy Vasaitis across the way there.
Hey, guys, how we doing?
Yep.
This fuzzy mic is weird.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger in my face
Yes.
than normal.
It sounds way
It
better.
sounds
though.
really good, though.
It's the same mic. It's just this cover that's
I know,
helping.
It's helping
It somehow takes all the bass out of your voice.
bassness of my voice.
Okay, so The Leftovers, episode 2. Overall, like or dislike? Just real quick.
You mean just the episode itself?
Yeah,
Or
what did you
I
think?
mean,
You like it,
I
or-
liked it. I mean, I think it's moving along the story. How many episodes? Do you know how many episodes this is?
I'm thinking that we're going to get the 13, in the 13 range, or 12. I mean, it could be 10 to 13. That's what it's going to be. It's somewhere in that range.
I mean, I guess that depends. It's really kind of it depends on how much I like the episode, whether how many, like if they only do like 8 to 10 episodes, then I don't know if I like the episode all that much.
The show, you mean?
The episode. Because it was like more of like a filler
Oh,
kind
I
of
see what
thing.
you mean.
It
Yeah.
wasn't really like exciting, super in your face kind of stuff, kind of like the first one was. I mean, that one, it's not really that kind of show per se, but you know what I mean. Like it was more of like a.
I liked it, but on my way home, I was feeling disappointed, and I'll explain why as we get into that.
I mean, like I said, I can't say that I was blown away. Like I said, if we get 13 episodes, then I'll probably like the episode a lot more.
Yeah. But if it's 10 or 8, like Silicon Valley, that was too short.
Oh my
8
God,
that was
dude.
far too few.
And they're only like 30
They were
minute
30-minute
episodes.
episodes.
I mean, that was great stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know why I'm going to touch on this right now, dude. But I couldn't talk to anybody else about it because I mean, like I'm probably not supposed to be watching ahead. I'm switching subjects here. Sons of Anarchy because I just started
okay.
watching that. People. All right, so I just
So Sons of Anarchy, spoilers for how far into it are you?
season 3 just started. Season 3, the first episode of season 3.
Come on, the ending of season 2?
Yeah, where he gets his son kidnapped. Yeah, I'm talking about the end of the first episode
I
of
don't
season
remember.
3.
I don't
Bro,
remember details.
The fucking funeral where they fucking opened the fucking van, rolled up on the funeral, and
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
gunned him down, and they ran over fucking Deputy
cop.
Chief Hale. I was like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like, I had to stop. I was like, I'm done. I'm stopping until Jenna, because she'll get mad at me, dude. Like, she
Yeah.
told me not to watch ahead, even though she keeps watching ahead. She tells me not to watch ahead. So I was like, I was like taken back by that whole episode. I had to stop myself. I was like, oh, okay, fuck it, I'm done. All right. So I just had to like get that out of my system. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
fair enough.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, good stuff. Season 4 has the best stuff to me of that show.
3,
Season 4
okay.
is my favorite.
Okay, we're in season 3 right now.
Season
Okay.
3,
It's been really
1
good.
through 3 are lots of setup for things,
I see.
and then we start getting payoffs, and the
Payoff.
payoffs are fucking beautiful.
Awesome. Okay,
Fucking
cool.
amazing.
It's a cool show. I like it a lot more than I thought.
I liked it more before it got to this most recent season. Before it got to the final
don't
season.
come on, don't.
I'm not telling you
I
anything,
know,
but the
but
final
just-
season is 7.
Yeah, that's
I feel
coming
like
up.
six changed things for me. That's all.
Okay.
It changed my not love of the show, but it changed something in there for me. But anyways, back to this.
Right. Sorry to go off
We
topic
never
like that.
so something about 1 for the Penguin, none for or Penguin
There's
1.
Penguin 1, Us 0.
Okay. So it starts with them investigating Holy Wayne's magic hugs. We didn't know who the people were. I just got a feeling they were cops, and they're digging into Holy Wayne.
Oh, well, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, I don't know what they were exactly.
because I guess you're government.
Yeah, they were
Some sort of
somebody
CIA
that was
government, something like that, because it was a little, because they just went in and started motherfucking opening fire on people. Like, I mean, like, it wasn't like cops.
I didn't get a read of what it said on the back of their outfits,
I
but it
couldn't
certainly didn't
either.
just say police or federal agents or
it
anything.
didn't. It said something. I think
Something
you're
with
right.
an A. I can't remember what it was.
I bet you it's going to have something. It's going to be some sort of government
Their own version of
department. Well, no, government department set up to deal with these fucking cults
yeah.
and deal with these groups and organizations of people.
They're not a cult.
I mean, yeah.
do I have to write it down to show you?
Well,
We're
that
not
was,
a cult.
Well, that's the white people we're talking about.
The white people.
We're talking about
racist.
We're talking about Lil Wayne. Sorry, no, I can't do that. No, don't do that. I don't know why.
I read something today, an Uber fact, that Lil Wayne just passed the Beatles, or for Elvis Presley, for the most most songs in the top 100 of all time. He just passed Elvis Presley.
I mean, a lot of people have done that.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean a lot of people have done that? He just passed Elvis Presley and took over as the number one of all time in that regard, in that specific statistic. Lil Wayne. For fuck's sake. Okay, so anyways, we go to Lil Wayne.
Holy Wayne.
Yeah, we go to Holy Wayne, not Lil Wayne.
Holy Wayne.
Actually,
sorry, I'm
gonna
keep doing it. You gotta get a drop machine like Big Al was telling you. Holy Wayne. So I'll stop doing that.
They say,
Holy Wayne. No, I'll quit now.
They say that he digs Asian girls.
Yeah.
And they determine if he's looking to that he's looking to get laid, not martyred. And then the guy bites his apple and is like,
"Let's get him."
Let's get him. Like it was just all.
It was a little
chill
extended, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't want to look at this guy chewing too much. Well, then did it go into opening credits? We got opening credits.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Bullshit.
No, we go straight into them shooting up the compound. The shooting innocents, seemingly. One Asian girl is seen running outside. I'm telling you, I wrote it down in order.
I mean, if that's the case, then we still got opening credits, but may not have been right there. But we got opening credits.
No, we did get opening credits, just not until after the next scene. Not there.
Okay, not there. Okay.
Yeah, we went right to the compound.
Gotcha,
it was like, holy shit, they're not fucking around with this.
Yeah.
You know, we say in some ways it feels like it's been slow or whatever. Or this was a filler episode, but a lot of things did kind of happen. I mean,
I guess
they're pushing things forward.
Well, the dude told him last time, shit's coming, can't stop it.
Yeah, everybody's been asleep.
Right.
The grace period's over. So, let's see. We see the one Asian girl is running outside, and the cop follows, and she stops and turns around, and it's that girl that Tom was hitting on, Christine.
Right.
And the cop is threatening her, and he gets shot in the neck by Tom, and he says, "I'm sorry, but she's important," and takes the girl and runs, and they go into an underground bunker in the middle of the desert, seemingly, and opening credits.
Giant gunfight going.
Yeah, it was still going on behind
him.
him.
Cool scene where he looked up, all the gun flashes were going off. That was a nice shot. I like that.
Then we get opening credits, which are basically those creepy religious type paintings, but with the parallax effect on it. That thing where it looks like different parts of the image are going in different directions.
Yeah, but and some of it was like not necessarily like old time people either. Some of it was like modern.
No, it looked
people.
like it was
like
yeah, it was like
mixed
these
between
people.
some people were looked like the old like paintings, like you said, like were wrapped in cloths and stuff like that. But some of them were dressed like normal people. Like,
but it still all had that same vibe to it. And then you pull
really
out and see at the end that it is in like a chapel. It's the ceiling of a thing, basically.
Right.
You know,
like the Sistine Chapel. Yeah,
exactly.
like it was cool.
It was okay, and that they were all going up to heaven, seemingly in the painting. All the people were spiraling. All the different people that we see in the opening are just all spiraling towards heaven. So are they the departed?
Right. Who knows?
Maybe that's what that's meant to depict.
Well, I mean, there's some other stuff too that we got to get more into this episode about who the departed and who these people might be.
Yeah.
And if they can communicate with us or if they're still around in some capacity or not.
Yeah.
Because who is it? Like his dad seemed like he was fucking talking to him. Somebody.
Yeah, and he has decidedly not lost his shit. So, well, let's start at the beginning. We go to Garvey waking up to Amy whispering he wants to see you, or he wants you to see. And she takes him to the woods where the dog guy shoots at a woman.
And they're in their underwear.
Yeah, and he says, "Hey, Chief, watch your feet." And he's standing in a fire, and then he wakes up. And his neighbor was burning his brother's shit and caught his fence on fire. Well, we find out later it's the dad's fence. Garvey steps on some false teeth, then goes home and makes French toast.
Anyone want French toast, right?
Yeah. I don't know what I guarantee there's going to be a significance to those teeth. I don't know what they are yet.
I don't think it was necessarily his brother's stuff. It probably some.
Oh, like it was somebody else?
Yeah.
Possible. I mean, that's pretty bold to do right in front of a cop, in a cop's backyard, basically.
Well, I mean, maybe not the dude was like burying somebody, but maybe that shit was already there. You know?
Okay. So maybe that's not from that. Conspiracy theory. Or just theory.
Well, you're just trying to kick shit around already.
Why not? Yeah, well, that's the whole
That's
point
the whole
of this
point
stuff.
of this,
Yeah.
right.
Let's see. So then we go to Garvey in the therapy session, and the guy asks if he's had any contact with his ex-wife, and he mispronounces her name. I can't remember what he said it was. It was like Lonnie or something. Then he goes, Lori. He said the wrong name, and then Garvey says they're still married. And he goes, does she think you're married? And he's like, well, you'll have to ask her. And then this douchebag fucking therapist cleverly says, oh, I get it, because she doesn't talk. Like, who the fuck hired that guy?
Yeah, how are
what
you
a
helping?
dickbag.
Right.
That guy just pissed me off. It was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck you and your smugness. Smugness can shove itself up its own ass.
Right. Yeah, if you're a therapist, you're the last fucking person I want to talk to.
Yeah. Let's see. And then he asks about the penguin, and he said it's for punching. And then he starts asking about the mystery man. Mystery man being the guy
that shoots dogs.
Yeah, dog guy. I've just been calling him dog guy. Dog, the dog bounty hunter. I don't know. Dog the bounty hunter. Whatever. Fucking.
Yeah, just
he's gay.
like, yeah, okay.
Give us a name. I want to call him Gray from Jericho.
Yeah, because that's who he was. He was
Gray Anderson. I remember that character.
He was the
name.
one he was trying. I don't remember his name, but he was trying to be mayor.
He took over as mayor. Yeah.
Oh, he ended up. Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
spoiler alert for Jericho.
Well,
It went 2 seasons and it should have gone more. That's the fucking spoiler alert.
right.
It should have been. It would have been way fucking.
It was a
cooler
pretty
to see
good
that
show,
out.
right?
Yeah.
I like that show.
Let's see. So, and then he's like, well, why do you keep calling him the mystery man? And he's implying that he made him up since no one else saw him. And you think for a second, well, is that the case?
Like, it's not the only person that keeps implying the fucking thing.
That's what
throughout
I
the
mean.
episode.
Like, he's the first one to say that. And
Right.
Kevin's like, I fucking saw him.
Like, who do we? Right. Yeah, that was what I saw him. Right.
It's like, I fucking saw him. Like, I'm not making this
Right.
shit up. So then we cut to Meg, Liv Tyler. That's the only time I'll mention that. At the Guilty Remnants, about to eat pancakes with some guy in a robe that still speaks.
Right. It's Kevin James' buddy from his show King of Queens.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I didn't
he was
make that
definitely-
connection.
Yeah.
That guy walks in, or some other guy walks in with laundry, and the guy's like, "This again? Laundry again?" I didn't
Right.
get what that meant. Maybe we'll find out later. Maybe it was a throwaway line. I just don't get the vibe we're ever going to get throwaway lines with Damon Lindelof at the helm. I don't feel like anything's not going to mean something. You know, there's always going to be some hidden meaning to what the fuck's going on. Let's see, and maybe that's taking it too far. Who knows? We'll see. Lori walks in with an axe, and they go into the woods, and we hear shrill screams that sound like wounded animals. Like, that's what it sounded like when they were standing there the first time, when her and Meg were out there. You heard, like, things that sounded like dying animals.
Okay.
I guess it was the dogs.
After she walked away for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog's howling.
Mm-hmm. And then she starts chopping down the tree, and she thought she was getting offed.
Right.
That's what Meg thought she brought her out there for. So we see the one that was standing with Meg, or the one that was standing with Lori out in front of Meg's house, the kind of fat lady with the glasses.
Yeah.
She's painting windows white, and someone drives up and throws red paint on her. I think it was red something.
Either that or a cup of something. Or
Yeah,
food of some sort,
just to ruin the white outfit. It felt like.
Right.
And then Garvey's daughter, I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Julie.
I don't know.
Julie, I think.
Maybe. So her and her friend run into the pastor passing out flyers, still saying they aren't who you think they are. And as they leave, she suggests that he get the internet. And the daughter trips over Nora's purse and sees her gun. And they hypothesize over why she has it. And the friend says maybe she killed her family and ate them. And it was real serious. And then she's like, "That's gross."
You're sick.
Yeah,
right?
like that's sick.
In I'm sorry. In a vicinity in which the fucking woman behind them could hear every word they were fucking saying.
Yes, you mean the woman that they were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way they didn't.
I'm
she
sorry.
didn't hear.
There's no way she didn't hear that.
So what the fuck was up with Nora intentionally knocking her mug off of the table? I feel like she's on some sort of weird power trip.
Dude, I think it's something to do with the fact that everybody's like...
Everybody's
she's
walking on eggshells
testing-
around her.
Yeah, because she lost her whole family and everybody feels so sorry
So
for her.
no
versus-
one will treat her like a human.
I think
It's like if
she's-
you find out somebody's got cancer, they're just like, just treat me normally.
Like, I think that's what she's looking for. She's like, because the guy turned around radio, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
like,
right
oh, what
away,
the
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay. you
Yeah,
know?
no, it's totally fine.
Right, because it seemed like a little like homegrown coffee shop, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't break the fucking mugs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and did you think that the girls saw her do that? Did they see her knock the mug off intentionally, or do you think that was just kind of like?
I thought they did. The way they shot it made it look like they
You know,
did.
no, you know why? Because that's even why they started following her. That was like the other reason. She did that weird shit, and they're looking at her like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this weird bitch up to?" And so they did follow.
And
her
then the way
home.
she just left, and yeah, that was all weird.
She didn't like pay for anything. Like she just like knocked. She's like, "Oh, I got somewhere to go," and then just like, I guess she could have paid for it beforehand, but like that wasn't like.
Well, the
part of
thing that got me that was very unlike Lost was when Nora left. The girl says to Garvey's daughter, "What was that?" Like this in this show, at least people say, "What the fuck just happened?" Like they're acknowledging that it's strange.
That something was really strange. Like, did she knock that coffee cup? Like, yeah, she did. Okay, so it was a stupid question with me asking, like, did they see it or not?
Yeah, she's like, what was that?
She like turned around and looked at her like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, it was weird.
The whole situation, even the way he reacted to her, the way he changed his reaction, I think she saw all that and was like, why the fuck are everybody walking on eggshells around this lady? I mean, I know she lost her family, but whatever. So the girls then decide that following Nora is the best choice. They think she's going to punch out the fucking pastor because he's going to tell her they're not who you think they are, about her family or whatever. And then she just tugs him. And they see the douche twins and use their cars to follow Nora.
The douche twins, yeah, they kind of steal their car.
Yeah.
Not steal it, but like, here, get in the back seat.
They commandeer it and just, you guys get in the back.
Commandeer was an excellent word.
Thank you
for that.
Meg swings the axe like twice and is beat. Lori offers her water, and Meg tries to work through the symbolism of chopping the tree. And she asks for a cigarette and is denied, and calls it a cult, and Lori says it's not one, and she's been with them for weeks, and it's fucking stupid. Lori writes, okay. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that one. The chopping of the tree, I guess the chopping the tree is dealing with stuff. You know what I mean? Actually acknowledging that all the stuff is happening. I don't quite get the metaphor yet of the tree.
I mean, dude, you don't think she was right off the bat?
Who?
Like the very first thing she said?
That who was right?
Meg.
What? The first thing she said
about the tree. What is this supposed to be? Chopping down my old life, or like knocking down my old life? I mean, like
something to that effect, where she's dealing with the past and kind of accepting it and moving forward, or something. I don't know.
Big fucking tree to chop down with an axe.
Exactly, though. I think that's the metaphor then, maybe.
You're supposed to work.
It's got to take that long to really get it. So we see a cross in the desert as Tom pulls into a gas station, and Tom goes inside and finds a dead guy.
But the gas station was all weird. There was a car pulled up, like, into the gas pump with the doors open. Like, it seemed deserted. Like,
and he, Christine asks if it's him and says he should be here by now. And Tom calls his dad, and Lincoln pulls up. A woman gets out and opens the trunk, and Wayne comes out, and girl runs to him, and they hug. And obviously he hung up on his dad when he saw Wayne, and Kevin then calls Tom back and misses him. And he's talking to a cop about the dog guy, and he's implying that Kevin made him up too. He asks if he thinks that, and there is silence. Kevin says, "This is the part where you say, 'No, Chief, that is fucking ridiculous.'" And then he goes, "No, Chief, that's fucking ridiculous." Yeah. It's like he didn't want to say fucking for some reason. He was kind of holding that back.
Right.
And he tells him to go and find the truck.
I like our new guy. I like Kevin, and some of his mannerisms are pretty good. Like, that was a really good line, good delivery.
He stepped up in this episode as far as one thing. He looks a little bit different. I feel like he's got a little bit of the Richard Alpert guy-liner thing going on now.
Yeah, okay.
He just looked more...
It's like a Richard Jack? Or Rich Jack?
Okay.
Like a mix between Jack and Richard?
A Jack Dick? It's probably the most offensive one I could come up with.
Yeah.
That still is accurate. Let's see. They go to Patty's and have a warrant, and Mr. Jensen was a missing person, the black guy that you said was Kevin James' friend, but the case is closed and his family knows where he is. And I can't believe that it's been weeks since the pilot. That's weird to me, that Meg has been there all this time.
When I first started watching the episode, one of the first things I noticed was, wow, look at the weather. Like, this was just, like, they were just October 14th, everybody was in kind of like T-shirts.
Oh, then it was 3 years later.
No. During the Heroes Day. Like, nobody was wearing coats and shit.
That's
like
what I mean.
Like,
I'm sorry. When you said October 14th, I thought of the event day, and then
we
were 3 years later, so it was still October 14th.
Yeah, I mean, it was all sunny and bright outside. Like, everybody was, like, not wearing... They were wearing just regular clothes. Nobody had coats on or anything like that.
Okay.
Some people were in T-shirts, and now it's just snow on the ground. Everybody's in coats. So,
so
I was like, wow, this is a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two later.
I didn't even catch that.
Right away. I was like, man, look at all this. I turned to Jenna, and I said, you see all the snow on the ground? Notice the weather?
Yeah.
Wow, it's like a couple months later. You know.
Well,
I guess they said 3 weeks or whatever it had been.
Yeah.
Is that what they said it was?
I've been with you for weeks. Yeah.
Weeks. Okay.
Garvey sits down to talk to Meg and asks her name and if she's there on her own free will or if she needs help. And he asks to take a picture.
She hesitates though.
Yeah.
When he says, "Do you need help?"
Well, she was trying to think about. I mean, I give her that. She was thinking about it. She doesn't know really what's going on. She's not loving what's happening so far.
No, but
so she's like, no.
Right.
So he takes her picture, which I assume they do just for kind of a before and after. You know, like I bet if we see Lori's picture, it's not going to look like the way Lori looks now.
Well, see, yeah, and another thing you got to think about, like, is like now that this has happened, like the cops or whatever, now government should come up with a certain procedure and how to deal with these. Like, people report people missing. All right, here now we got to go check the guilty remnant in some of these cults to make sure that they haven't joined, because this is a very common occurrence that's happening with people now. So, like, it seemed like a very commonplace for him to go in the house and do that whole thing with the warrant and everything. It seemed like it's happened many times before.
Man, I was just thinking about being an actor and getting a gig where you don't have to talk. Ever. Like, that's kind of a cool gig.
Well, that, I think it probably takes some sort of talent.
Yeah, you have to be able to express...
and act without talking.
Yeah.
I mean, like probably one of the first kind of classes, like, they teach you acting is, like, silent acting.
Yeah?
It's like one of the first lessons you learn.
Do something without saying anything, basically.
Like, express yourself without speaking words. Right?
Well, luckily they have things to do, and... you know, so you see movement and activities happening. Well, he leaves a card with her if she wants to talk, and Patty slams...
There seems exceptions to this rule, too. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there seems exceptions to this rule of not talking. Like, to be like the black guy that she was talking...
the black guy isn't in white yet either.
But what I'm saying, like, they're like recruits or whatever you want to call them. They're not necessarily part of the cult yet.
It's exactly.
And Patty spoke in the first episode...
To
she
say
spoke to say welcome or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? There seems to be
again.
exceptions.
Yeah, for new recruits, you have to you can speak to
they haven't taken their vow or whatever.
But basically, it seems like you can't you can't recruit them with words. But once they come there on their own, then you can speak to them to ingratiate them in and tell them kind of how it is. Well, but did you notice that she snuck the card? As the lady was looking at her, she kind of just pulled it around the side and kept it. Liv Tyler did. The Garvey's card.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that the lady didn't see it, the lady in white.
I don't know if I noticed it or not.
So, and then he leaves, and Patty slams Lori's laptop shut and shows her she's going to leave on a piece of paper and says that she's too easy on her. And Lori writes she's not strong enough yet. And then Patty says, well, then cut her loose. And we're back to the girls tailgating Nora, and the twins ask why, and they say because she's dangerous, and she is delivering a departure benefit we see inside.
Say another government procedure somehow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like, weird.
When people people exist, they have assets of some sort.
Yeah, so stuff has to be kind of passed
distributed,
down.
and they probably just want to call them death benefits, but like departure benefits, because it's not necessarily the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyways,
I bet we'll learn more about that.
Yeah,
that process.
We cut away from them and we go back to the police station, and it has a Pledge House bulletin board, and the mayor comes in and she says, which was my favorite line of the whole episode, Jesus, I never should have told you to watch The Wire.
Yeah. Even though I've never seen The Wire, I laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They have a bulletin board, and they put all the people on the board and kind of do the hierarchy, and it was just like he's just doing like the same thing. And it's great because I'm rewatching The Wire right now, so that was all topical.
Very good.
So she says she's trying to help and asks him how different the Guilty Remnant's house was after he punched one of them. Like, how was the mood there when he went back after punching one of them? Like, why is everybody such a dick to him? He's trying his best, goddammit.
Well, the thing is, he's the chief of fucking police.
The girlfriend, but she's the mayor, so she kind of
she's
isn't
a bitch.
Same.
I get it, but like other people are dicks.
Everybody's kind of a dick,
right?
The guy implying that he's made up his fucking friend.
You know what? I might have a theory that I just thought of as to why that is.
Okay, go on.
We'll get to it. We have to get to it though, because I don't think we haven't hit that part of the episode yet.
Okay, so
remind me.
She's trying to all she's trying to do is get him to she's just trying to call him out on punching the guy without mentioning it,
Right.
without saying it out loud, and then says that people like dogs, and he does too. And she goes, "Well, so stop shooting them." And she wants him to get cleared by the dipshit.
But he says that same line. They're not our dogs anymore.
Yes, he does. He says they're not our dogs anymore.
And she's like, "What? Like, what the fuck does that mean?" Like, and he kind of just shrugs her off.
Yeah.
And the disappearing bagel.
Yeah, well, she wants him to get cleared by the dipshit, and he says it won't happen again. Or by saying it won't happen again, and she says they aren't our dog, and he says they aren't our dogs, not anymore, and the same wording that the dude's using. And she says, "Stop pissing on the guilty remnants front porch." She's visiting tonight, and his bagel
She
disappeared.
doesn't respond to him saying that. I'm pretty sure she was like, "What?" And he kind of just shrugs her off.
Well,
And
kind
then
of
she
like,
just
what does that
yeah.
mean, or something?
Right.
Yeah, but he's not going to explain. And
Right.
she says she's visiting tonight. She doesn't say where, which we find out later is his dad, but his bagel disappeared, and he's slamming the machine and gets crazy looks now because even that's disappearing on him. Yeah, even that's disappearing on him now.
The bagel.
The bagel, the metaphor for the show. It just disappearing right there in front of them.
I mean, like he's looking around like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah,
And he
did
takes
you-
the whole thing and he's banging it. I love that scene. It was
Yeah, because
great.
then it's just leading to, is he crazy?
Yeah.
That's what they're teasing this whole thing. Is is he crazy?
They quickly wrap that up.
Yeah.
Well, by the end of the episode, not quickly, I guess, but by the end of the episode, we kind of get a couple of answers. But
So we go to Nora, and she's filming the old couple and has to ask them 150 questions. And she says, "I can refer to him as Charles, your son, or the departed." And the mom says immediately, "Charlie." And she asks a few questions, and the mom says, "My son had Down syndrome." Then the dad says no to answer the question to kind of keep it going forward. Has he had 10 or more sexual partners or whatever
Right.
it was? And just he's going to power through it is basically what I got from that.
was the old man was
He's going to be the one.
strength.
Yeah, exactly. The friends ask if the twins have any hand cream, and she goes to get some from Nora's car. And while she's in there, the daughter honks the horn, and Nora comes out, and barely, barely doesn't catch them,
Right.
but sees them pulling away. And the chief sees a pic of Lori on his board. I just noticed that. He looked over at that.
Well, did you notice? Like, let's go back to the items that she took out of the car.
Well, yeah, she grabbed. I don't know if we saw them all right that instant, but she ended up grabbing jelly beans and the hand. Did she just use the hand cream?
She just squirted the hand cream
And
used
she just
it,
took the
and then
gel-
she took
the
the
jelly
jelly beans
beans.
out of the thing.
glove box,
She
yeah.
said they were stale.
Yeah.
Later.
Well, that was later. Yeah, exactly. I knew. I paused it at that moment to write that down, and wrote at that moment
Those jelly beans.
exactly what was said the next line when I unpaused it. It's the only negative to pausing and unpausing is that you literally stop it and then they say the thing you just said or you just wrote down. So let's see. Meg's fiance shows up and he tells him Meg is with the guilty remnants and
He gets really pissed.
yeah, they want to recruit, and he thinks Megan is still on the fence, and the fiance is pissed about her leaving, and why would he convince her to come back home? She snuck off in the middle of the night for them. Why the fuck would you say she needs me? But it was like, why the fuck would you say that? Why would you say that she needs me? He said, why the fuck would you say that? And then Dennis calls Garvey, and he found the truck in Kevin's driveway. And keys are on the dash, no registration, no warrants, dead dog in the bed of the truck. And Dennis says, I'll say we found it up the road. And Garvey repeats what the fiance says. Why the fuck would you say that? That was the only reason that I made such a point of saying that the fiance said, why the fuck would you say that? Because Garvey said the exact same wording to the cop.
Why the fuck would you say that?
Why the fuck would you say that?
Right.
So there's something, again, just another little tie together.
Yeah.
Maybe he's taking on the feelings of some of these people he's having to deal with that go in, because loved ones go into the guilty remnants. He sympathizes because his own did.
Right.
I don't know, just a thought.
Well, I can't believe that he didn't even mention that to that guy. You would think that would have been a point of, hey, man, my wife fucking is in there.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go try to get yours out before she fucking goes all the way in.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like my starting point
Yeah, you would
had
think.
I been in those shoes, but he didn't even bring it up.
Yeah, he's not going to mention it. Well, Dennis doesn't believe Kevin that it's not his truck. That was the takeaway I got from that
Dennis is
scene.
the other cop's name?
Yeah.
Well, of course he doesn't. He's
Yeah,
looking at him like he's fucking insane.
Uh-huh.
Well, and
Turns
I
out
think-
it is his truck. Tom is looking for water in the bathroom and comes out to, holy fuck, he's a necrophiliac Wayne, making out with the dead guy.
Weird stuff.
And he says, he would never let me do that when he was alive. What the fuck? That's so creepy.
This guy's a creep. Wayne's a creepo.
Well, they exchange pleasantries, and Wayne says Tom killed for great purpose, but he killed, and he asked to take the pain from him and comes in for a shirtless hug, which was really rapey. And he gave him, why aren't you dead so I can kiss those lips face? And Tom can't give up the pain, and Wayne says, you're one motherfucker I can't figure out. You're all suffering and no salvation. Right. And then basically let him know that Christine is going with him, because he assumed that Christine was going with Wayne.
Right.
Did I miss any weird rape feelings there? Any necrophilia stuff? I think I covered all that, right? I mentioned the necrophilia.
Yeah, he was creepy. Creepy is the vibe we get from Creepy Wayne.
Creepy Wayne, that's better.
All right.
The girls and the twins get the girls are with the twins, and the girls get dropped off and tell the boners to get some hand cream. And the girl mentions how the jelly beans are stale, and I put they are going to have been Nora's kids, and she's going to be pissed that they are gone.
Superman.
And the next line is they were probably for her kids.
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember that.
So Meg is stroking Kevin's business card, and Lori comes in, and Meg asks for one night where she doesn't have to give up any of her stuff. And Lori
what's
says
this procedure now?
It's just
right.
it's
indoctrination.
Another, exactly. It's another means of saying, okay, yeah, I'm willing to give up this to be part of your organization, or I realize that I have to suffer for blah, 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 whatever. Or, I have to sacrifice to be able to get any relief, I guess. I don't know. So Lori says no. Well, do I really have to specify every time? I guess. Lori writes no and surrender, and asks if Lori remembers what it's. She asks if Lori remembers what it's like to care about someone, and she tells Meg that the cop is her husband, and Meg calls him the hot cop, and Lori writes, "I remember." And then I just put, so fucking what? The guilty remnants are fucking annoying and emo. They were just annoying me. Okay, fucking A. Oh, you know what I took I remember to be at that time when I wrote that an angry comment was I took that to be she remembers the departure day, the sudden departure. And I'm just like, oh, you fucking emo faggots. Like, that's what I thought in my head. I totally get that neither of those are acceptable things to say anymore. But I heard a wrestling crowd. I didn't send you the video, but I was watching like a 1990s Bash at the Beach, 1990s Great American Bash over the holiday weekend. And they cut to the crowd who are chanting at the Fabulous Freebirds. They're happy as shit to be chanting it too. Faggot, faggot, faggot. Wow. I'm like, holy shit, everything has changed. You can't say that anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
You wouldn't pan over and gleefully see a group of everybody chanting faggot. Like, holy shit. It just blew my mind.
No, yeah, those days are over with.
So,
to have to be like seeing some old footage of people saying, and word,
exactly, right?
and word, like going, wait, no, you can't do that anymore.
That's great.
Right.
Well, Meg gives up the shirt that was her mom's, and she doesn't want to feel this way anymore.
Guilty.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Wayne,
so do you think her mom disappeared? Do you think that's why? Do you
maybe,
think those things...
she could have just died, dude. It's possible she just died and she had kept that from when she was a kid, for example. Like, her mom could have died when she was young.
True. I mean, it's hard to get a grasp on Meg because she always looks like she just got done crying.
The other thing that I'm not really getting a grasp on is they act like this is the be-all, end-all, and that nobody has died before or after that. Like, it feels like that's not an issue, people dying before... It feels like that hasn't come up yet. Like, people dying or, departing beyond the sudden departure.
Well, see, I think it's different.
Like, it feels like everything in this world is focused on that.
Well, because I think that... Well, yeah, that's a big thing, but I think that departing and dying are two different things.
Oh, man. Absolutely, but I don't feel like dying is
what?
Ever mentioned in this. It's all about the departed. And it's not about, like, we don't even get a sense to even think, well, maybe that was from her mom, and maybe her mom died. Or
people jumping off the roof.
What about them?
Him watching the people jump off the roof and hitting the ground. They died.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. But they tied it so closely to the whole premise that it was them dying because they couldn't take it.
Well,
They're
because
so
they,
emo.
well, no, I don't even know if it was that. I think it was they were just. I think they might have been trying to go with.
Or that we did
You know what
discuss
I'm
that.
saying?
That's
Like,
right. Like them
but,
wanting to go at the same time and go
right,
together.
They jumped
and-
off with their hands,
yeah,
whatever.
fucking idiots.
Right. But
What we have is here, people. I know it's a TV show, but holy crap, just live your lives.
That's I see. I think that's what part of the premise of the show is like I think that was one of the big reveals from episode 1 was the fact that this family hadn't lost anybody in this departure.
Yeah.
And it's still like how selfish they are that it's torn them apart.
Yeah, that they're fucking focusing
You know
on
what
that
I'm saying?
instead
Like
of
that,
just
right.
being happy.
being
and-
together and happy that they're all
They
together
should be
still and that they didn't lose anybody.
I get the idea that we don't know if other things if this could happen again. I get that worry, but at the same time, so if it does, so fucking what? It happened again.
Well, right.
You couldn't control it this time. You're not going to control it next time.
Well, it's just a strange phenomenon that it takes people
God
off.
damn it!
like,
I
you
wish
know.
they had finished Flash Forward. I wish it had been good. They ended season 1 with a cliffhanger where they flash forward 20 years into the future.
And then the show ended.
And then the show ended. They showed all kinds of crazy shit, and then the show was just done. I'm like, fuck you guys. They ruined that show, though. It could have been great, and they killed the premise.
I don't even remember it.
The guy flashes forward 6 months into the future, but when that happens, everybody did that. The whole world flashed forward for like a minute and a half, so everybody passed out, and then they all went to this date in April. And then if you didn't remember it, then more likely you were dead by the time April came. If you didn't see anything when you jumped to the future. Which brings me to a huge issue. We thought we were, and I know it may have just been this episode, but we were talking about how we expect to see more backstory, more stuff at the time of the departure, and they didn't even fucking, I didn't get a hint that we were going to go back there again after this episode. Like, there was no flashbacks.
I don't think it, but see, I think you're thinking like,
No, I get that they can't do Lost, and they can't do it each episode.
I was just going to say
I feel
maybe,
like that
I
maybe
think
is
it's more
why
of
they're
like,
not
I
doing
think
it.
it's more of like,
The
fact
show is
that
in the
it's a
present.
different type of show. And like any flashbacks are going to be somebody remembering something.
It's going to
Not
have to be
necessarily,
really
like, you know what I'm
specific.
saying? Like when he was like talking about the dog, it was like and just get flashing like the dog. You
Yeah.
know, the real quick camera flashes of the dogs attacking the deer.
Yeah.
When he was telling
And seeing the
deer,
guy, and
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like it was like that was like your flashbacks. Like I think. I don't know. I like.
I want to see more at the departure. I'm sorry, but for some reason that fascinates
I really
me.
think you're gonna. I really think you're gonna get more of it. I think you're gonna.
I
get
hope
more.
so.
Like,
I hope they were just doing that. This show isn't lost. Here's an episode sans flashbacks. And it's like, okay, I get that isn't going to be a narrative device used in every episode. Fine.
I don't think it's going to be structured exactly the same way.
Yeah, and I'm cool with
Because
that.
Lost was structured like that. If you got an episode, like if an episode of Lost came up where there was no flashbacks, you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, was there any episodes like that?
Yes.
There was a couple like that.
There were a couple.
When you were, and you even maybe have known it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or like right after, like, okay, you noted this is an episode that, you know,
Yep.
it was out of structure for the show. You know, every show had the flashbacks, you know.
Yep.
It would start on the island and they'd be like, whoosh,
Yeah.
and then you'd be in, you know, when they're past life or whatever. This isn't built the same way.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that. I'm cool with that. I don't want it to be.
Right,
Wayne
right.
gives Tom some money from his trunk.
But
and-
still get some of the same feelings.
Yes, exactly.
Some of the same weirded out feelings as you did from Lost.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm in. I keep going.
Let's see. So Wayne gives him some money from his trunk and gives instructions on how to stay hidden. And when it's time for what comes next, Wayne will call him on his yellow phone, his little yellow smiley face flip phone.
Yeah.
And he says he loves Christine and totally like makes out with her, kisses her, and Tom does not like it. And this girl is everything. Yes.
But but
Yes.
no, creepy Wayne though, the way he kissed her, but then looked right back up at Tom after
Yeah.
he got done doing it all creepified
Yeah.
like.
Well, Tom's car won't start, and he freaks the fuck out. And Christine says it's going to be okay. Wayne told her. Uh-oh. We lost that. I wonder why.
You know, we're getting close to when you want to cut off, so
Yeah, I know.
we need to get in this wrapping this up here. Don't you record? Well, you don't have a DVR, do you? or
I mean,
anything
it's.
like that?
I'll just use the video from this for the rest of it. No
I'm
big
talking
deal.
about Raw.
No, I don't have a
Can't,
DVR.
like, get back it up and watch it. Okay,
No.
whatever.
So, anyways, we go to I believe we're at Tom's car, and he's freaking the fuck out because
Probably banging the
nothing's
steering wheel.
happening for him. Nothing's working right.
Right.
And
he can't touch this girl that's next to him that he apparently has this unbelievably strong sexual attraction
he's definitely into her. Oh, he can't touch her? Is that what he was
to.
told?
No, dude, Wayne said keep your fucking hands off of her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
First
So he
episode.
can't fuck her.
Right.
Okay.
Can't touch her.
Well, we cut to he's
and they're
MC
going
Hammer,
to, apparently.
obviously.
Right.
Garvey's in his fridge. We hear a knock on the door, and it's the dog guy with beers. And Kevin asks him his name, and he says, "Are you asking in an official capacity or as friends?" And he goes, "We're not friends." Well, then I'd rather not say. And daughter and friend pop up, and guy found another pack of dogs. He can't do it by himself because he's lonely.
They acknowledge his existence.
Yes, exactly.
So we kind of get the answer.
He was a human being.
Garvey's not
Yes.
crazy. She walks up and grabs the beers from him.
Yes.
Unless, here's another short theory I had while I was
Unless
thinking
we're talking Fight Club, where he hands her the beers, where Garvey hands her the beers to put in the fridge.
No, I don't know if we're talking Fight Club, but maybe she's fucking crazy too.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe it
but the
runs in the
daughter,
family.
but the friend was there too.
She walked right past him.
I
didn't
feel like she
acknowledge him.
said something. Okay.
She walked right past him, didn't acknowledge him.
Well, he tells him sundown tomorrow, and he's doing the Lord's work. And Kevin tells him to take his fucking truck, and the guy says, "It's yours. I'm done with it." So it was Kevin's truck. See.
Right.
He's going to visit his dad at a mental home, and he's sitting there with the mayor, and they kiss tenderly. And Kevin asks if she stole his bagel this morning, and she looks confused. You know what this felt like to me? This felt very much like Hurley in the mental institution. This felt very much like that reveal. You know, where it was, you don't know who's going to be in there, and then it's the dad. You know, and then the dad's seemingly normal, and then he's not normal.
I mean, to be fair,
yeah.
like they said that in those preview things.
What preview things? Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
I guess. I
knew
just forget about that stuff.
Like,
I
see,
put it out of my head.
I try, but it stays there. Like, I
Yeah.
knew he was going to be in there. I knew that's who they were talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm just meaning the vibe of it was like the mental institution that we saw Hurley in. For some reason, I got that same, like, okay, this dude's going to be cool. This is going to be a character, and he's going to be, there's going to be some twist in it. And there was a twist by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like when Hurley could see dead people, or see people that weren't there. This guy is also talking to people. You know what I mean? It just it struck me as very Lost-ish.
I almost got the feeling that he was talking to somebody that was gone,
Yeah.
and like referring to them or something like this group of people like that he can see and react with. Maybe they're in a different dimension or something like that, to where like only certain people are stuck in between. Like, I don't know. I guess we're going fringe science.
Well, he started off by asking how his house and his job was. So that was kind of weird to find out that he's living in his house and took over his job. I mean, I knew the job thing, but I didn't know about the house thing.
Well, here's kind of the theory I brought up earlier was is in reference to this. Is maybe that's kind of why people treat him like shit. Is because he didn't really earn the job, but more like stepped into it after his father. Or,
oh,
you know
like
what I mean?
he's just like a nepotism thing where
Yes.
people don't respect the kid because
I think that may be part of it.
That could be. That's not a
he,
bad idea.
I mean, he was even almost borderline disrespectful the way the dad said it. How's my job? How's my house?
Yeah, acting like he's a fuck up, and yeah,
Right. You know,
but so was Jack. You know what I mean? Like the same fucking issue, the same fucking feelings are coming through. Where
Well,
the dad's kind of not as down on him, but
right.
is a little bit like busting his balls about how successful he is or what he's doing, and yeah, I don't know. It just kind of struck me.
That's because like I think the dad maybe thinks like
He's
I
not
shouldn't
doing-
fucking be here. I should still be the chief of police.
Yeah. Well, he
know
says
what I
he
mean? Like-
decidedly did not lose his shit.
Right.
But the best part, one of my favorite things of the whole episode, he tells him to show some vulnerability now and again. People love that shit. But then he says the whole cast of Perfect Strangers went on the 14th. That cracked my shit up. Because Balky and Cousin Larry and the Jennifer and whatever the other girl's name was,
Right.
Balky's girl. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, you could check.
I think we're gonna get little tidbits of that all the way through the show.
Yeah,
like
getting famous people that have
famous
left.
people that
That's
have
fucking great.
departed.
Oh, dude, we need to keep a running list.
Oh, right.
Of all the people that we've learned are gone.
Okay, so we'll have that
after
for you
this.
guys.
We'll do that.
We'll have on episode 3 next week. By next week, we'll have that.
We
list
will
for
have
you
a
guys.
list. No, I mean I have the list from before. At the end of the episode, we're going to go through all the famous people that are gone. Every episode.
Every episode, I think we should do that.
Yes.
That's one of our things. We'll keep a list of the famous people that have disappeared.
Let me
Okay, so
write
we'll
that
have
down
we'll have
here.
a full list. We'll have a list, and every week we'll read through the list.
Okay, so let's see. The dad asks about it.
I mean, I think that one on the list could be referred to as just the entire cast of Perfect Strangers.
Yes.
Right, okay, go ahead.
The dad asks about the kids and then says, just because he doesn't check in as often as he should doesn't mean he doesn't love you. He's talking about Tom, but he's meaning that Kevin doesn't visit him enough.
Right, same thing.
Yeah. Kevin asks when it started for you, and he says, despite popular belief, my shit remains intact. And Kevin, then he thinks Kevin is losing his shit, and he tells Kevin to lie to the shrink. And the dad starts talking to himself. I don't want to tell him. No, I don't want to tell him. You tell him. I don't want to tell him. Or whatever, some bullshit like that.
I don't know if he was talking to himself, dude.
No, but he started seemingly talking to himself.
Which is, this is the reason we find out this is the reason he's in where he's at.
Yeah, maybe this is a thing where you find out, okay, maybe there is more to it. Or maybe he's lost his shit. But I would say that nothing's that obvious, and there's no way that that's going to be the case. Whatever you get given immediately about somebody is always going to not be the case. I just feel like that's a rule of television. You don't find out everything about a person. Like, you don't find out Sawyer right away is a good dude.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean? Whatever you're given
mean.
is going to be turned on its head, just because that's the way TV works.
Well, that and this is a different, like, the producer and the people who are doing this think a little bit differently as well. You know, so I mean,
so
like,
I'm expecting stuff.
Yeah.
He tells
so
Kevin.
So you don't think that there's something like he's communicating?
No,
with
I absolutely think he is. I think they were trying to get you to think he was crazy. They were trying to get you to think he wasn't, but I'm sure that there's going to be something to
like
that.
He's talking to somebody, right?
So he says he doesn't want to tell him, and he says they said they sent somebody to help you. And he fucking kind of lost it a little bit at that. He was like, wait, help me. Who? Who did they send? I mean, what did they send somebody to help me with? He realized the question was fucked up because he already felt like he got sent the person in the dog guy.
Right.
And the dad says he doesn't know, but whatever it is, keep it to yourself.
Right. Don't fucking tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, then he starts tearing. It cuts back to him at the police station, and he starts tearing apart the oven to find his bagel. And it becomes a metaphor for the show, I feel like, at that moment. When he reaches in there for something that has disappeared and finds a logical answer to where it went, I feel like that's going to be a metaphor for this show.
Okay.
I'm hoping it is.
So then we'll find a logical answer.
There's going to be a logical answer where everybody went.
So then do you think it's going to become a case of how do we get it back?
I don't know. I'm not sure where they go from there, but I'm thinking that they're definitely going to...
So maybe that's where the book ended, was you find this logical answer or whatever it was, and maybe that's where they continue on from the show. Is trying to figure out some sort of way.
I don't think we're going to get that till the end.
Then I can't think of anything else with them contacting Walter fucking Bishop to try to figure this out. You know, where the fuck is Walter Bishop right now?
We are TV nerds, so sorry if you don't get the references. You should watch more TV.
Yeah, it's a reference to Fringe. Walter Bishop from Fringe. It was great. That's a great show. I like that show.
So Patty, then we cut to Patty, and she kicks Lori and writes, "She's gone." And then we cut to Meg. I was going to write down, she's not gone. But then the next scene was Meg walking in the woods with the axe, and she's not gone, and she feels better taking it out on the tree, and end credits.
Right. So it was her kind of not giving up.
Yes.
And rather...
It was her just going with it, and now she's all part of it. Yeah. Taking the axe by the handle. Okay, we're going to go through the famous list.
All right, famous departed list.
The famous departed list. I'm trying to find the part where that was in the last episode. I will make a nice list next time.
Yeah, we'll have a running tally.
Yes. Damn it. Where is this at? Okay. So
hopefully they don't just completely cut it off and stop talking about this.
There's no way they're going to stop doing that.
They gotta keep doing it.
There's going to be 1 to 5 0 to 5 every episode that we find out about.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
So the famous departed list so far: Condoleezza Rice, Salman Rushdie, Shaquille O'Neal, Jennifer Lopez, Anthony Bourdain, Gary Busey, Bonnie Raitt, Pope Benedict XVI, and now the cast of Perfect Strangers. See you guys next week.
Later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.